label. You should have come with a warning label. You should have come with a warning label. You should have come with a warning label. You're in bed with someone else, saying you miss me. And I'm crying on the bathroom floor, wishing I didn't leave. This love is expired, but I still desire a refill. A refill. 'Cause you're addictive. Side effects include missing you, loss of appetite, sleepless nights, and trust issues. You're high risk. I'm a love addict. This feeling is fatal, mentally unstable. You should have come with a warning label. 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 It's been 3 years now and I'm married with a diamond ring. You're with some random girl but still in love with me. I won't admit it, but I see you in my dreams. I wonder, are you the one who's supposed to be next to me? You should have come with a warning label. You should have come with a warning label. You should have come with a warning label. You should have come with a warning label.
Okay, I'm gonna play one more. Well, I guess the website's being weird. Let me know if you guys see it on the website. Let's see what we got. I'm gonna do the one Glenn sent me the other day. Okay, wait, that's not. Okay, so guys, I have 4 days left of producing my own show, and then we don't have to deal with this anymore. So I do appreciate all of the patience, because I know it's been rough. But I do appreciate you guys sticking with me. Okay, here's another song. Now I'm going to make sure this is going on the website real quick.
You were out living life full throttle. You found God at the bottom of a bottle. You were out living life full throttle. I found God at the end of a heartbreak.
It's not. Where is it?
I didn't think there was much more I could
be back, guys.
I'm a sinner, this I know. The Bible thumpers tell me so. Life has got me feeling kinda low. I'm a sinner, this I know. The Bible thumpers tell me so. Life has got me feeling kinda low. But that's why I pray, so there'll be better days. Maybe I won't be a sinner always. That's why I pray, God lead the way. Maybe one day I won't be so afraid. That's why I pray. Never did fit in with the Jesus folk. They don't listen, they just like to talk. But I believe in better days. I believe that Jesus saves. God, please show me the way. That's why I pray, so there'll be better days. Maybe I won't be a sinner always. That's why I pray, the way. Maybe one day I won't be so afraid. That's why I pray.
So you're looking for better days. You need to change from the old you to better ways. Cause God was calling your name, but you ran away. Then decided to blame the church cause you was led astray. I could not walk in the counsel of the wicked. Psalm 1:1, but the close the eyes to miss it. Cause I'm being tricked by all these feminist witches. I guess they don't get it, but that's why I pray.
So there'll be better days.
Maybe you won't be asking me always.
That's why I pray. Bible thumpers tell me so. Life has got me feeling kind of low.
All right, guys, the most important thing, I'm coming in. So as you guys see, I'm wearing green today. Look at him wearing green. And it's because my sister is going to state. Now, look, I'm one of 10 children. Now, I'm old now, so this doesn't really matter. But my youngest sister is a decade younger than me. And that's why the shows are going to kind of be at erratic times this week because I got to go support. But I am a Davis, and Davises take athletics very seriously. Now, when I was in high school, I made it to a state championship, and I lost. I did lose. Unfortunately. But I did get to go, and it was a really cool experience. Then my next sister also got to go to state, so it's pretty cool to see my youngest sister continue the tradition. Nobody's ever gone for basketball. She's a cute little baller, so I'm very excited to support her. Now, I do have a show topic today, and it's called The Art of Abandoning Sinking Ships. Now, I am going to go into this topic, but before I do, I did have someone make a not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4-hour stream on me. Now, I do have someone calling in for this, so let me see how far he is. So you guys know Glenn, friend of the show. You said basketball's not very feminine. I don't care. I like to see her kick ass. Maybe we'll address this 4-hour stream later.
Yo.
Oh, there he is. I was just curious. How long you need?
A few more minutes.
Like what? 10? I'm just trying to.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
15.
15. We'll plan for 15.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Bye.
Bye. All right. We're gonna go 15 minutes. Okay. So I've given you guys a bit of the background between me and Rolo. And I've had this problem where I really do admire his work, but it's been years of him just making shit up about me. He's never liked me. He doesn't really like that even though I've credited him the entire time, that I read his book, enjoyed it, and I talk about a lot of the topics in his book. He doesn't like that. And what it's just been for years is him blacklisting people that work for me, which he does pick and choose, and also just making shit up. And it's stuff I can't really disprove. I'll give you guys an example. He is convinced from the bottom of his heart that I am sabotaging him, that I somehow have strings at Daily Wire. Like at one point, he said I was taking a paycheck. Now he's kind of walking that back. And now he's saying, no, I didn't say, I said you may as well have taken a paycheck. And I'm like, no, you were definitely insinuating I worked there. He's also saying I have a manager named Gina. I've never had a female. Do you guys think I would have a female manager of all people? And it's just tiring because when someone makes stuff up about you, you can't really disprove it, right? It's totally fine if he doesn't like me. I've been completely okay with that. I mean, I did really want his friendship, but you know, if he doesn't like me, and for those of you that don't know, essentially, guy named Rolo, he's a genius in the space. Go read his book. But he's just never liked me. And for years, he's just made stuff up. So he's convinced I'm trying to like sabotage him. He's also convinced that, and it's interesting because he's convinced that I'm doing what he is doing. Because he has actively tried to get in the middle of collaborations I've had. He's actively badmouthed me to people. And I've never done any of that to him, to be honest. I've said that the things that he is saying about me are not true, but I wish he would stop making things up. And what'll happen is he'll just get these like theories and run with them. So one of them is that I am secretly sabotaging him. I know. Look, all I'm trying to do is clear my name and disprove the things that are just simply untrue. That's it. Recently, I told you guys about one of the reasons that I got into the red pill was because my brother tried to commit suicide when I was younger. This happened years ago. What happened was I was at school and I got a phone call and he'd attempted. I don't want to get into the details, but it was a very scary moment for my family. We are very moved on past that. He's living a great life now. But he's now saying that I am, I guess, that story, I use it because he also had someone commit suicide close to him. And I'm saying it so I can relate to him. I mean, how do I disprove that? I mean, does he want medical records? Do you know what I mean? And yeah, he's just paranoid. He's this, and it's just weird to me because my dad is the same age. And I try to explain to my dad, I'll tell him, I'll be like, Dad, you won't believe what this old guy did on the internet today. And my dad can't even believe it. And it's unfortunate because he's a really good writer. But I mean, this stuff is it really bites him in the ass when he gets in all this drama instead of just focusing on his content. I've never attacked him. All I've really said is that the stuff he's saying about me is not true. I do call him old. Okay. I did call him old. I did guilty, but he's like my dad's age. You know what I mean? Let me go through. I mean, there was like, the other thing too was, and this was the worst part about his 4-hour stream. This was the worst part. So he attacks Glenn in this 4-hour stream. And he claims that Glenn Lawrence, he's a friend of the show, I just called him. And he claims that he is a sex addict and uses hookers. Look, as far as I know, that's not true. He keeps saying this stuff. I'd really like, prove it. Prove it. But Glenn, so as you guys know, Thor is a guy in this space who is sick. And we did a fundraiser and we raised money for Thor. And I can't remember the exact number, but it was somewhere between $10,000 and $15,000. And Glenn has taken off so much time to take care of him. And if anyone's ever taken care of like a relative that's sick or like something like that, You guys know just how much time that takes out of your schedule. And it takes a very selfless person to do that for someone and ask for nothing in return. That I can't disprove that, right? I don't know. I'm not somebody sleeping with, so I wouldn't know. But that seems very out of character to me. Yeah, no, and let me see. I put notes of all the things. Let's see. Another thing that he said that my divorce documentary is never going to come out. I understand why he thinks that. Getting demonetized really derailed it. I just put, and the first guy we gave it to just had never done a documentary before, and we just had some hiccups. Now we have a new team on it. They're going to give me a draft soon. I don't know what to tell you. I'm doing the best I can. Trying to see what else. He also said, this was a weird lie, actually. He said that me and Tori fell out because Devin was jealous. And he said I was Devin's maid of honor, which I went to the wedding, but I don't know, guys. The challenge really is he just says a lot of stuff I can't really disprove because it's made up. And he'll get like one email or one screenshot of like a little bit of a conversation, and then he's just convinced. He's convinced I tried to set him up. I can't really disprove that. I wasn't my intention. I can see why he thinks that. It was my mistake. I wish I didn't do it. What happened was I asked him if I could have content creators on that live stream. So I thought, it was my show. I didn't really think it was that big of a deal. He did. It's fine. Yeah, I mean, and he's also trying to say that this is just hilarious. He's trying to say that I started this. I did not. Again, the only thing I've said is I have to disprove the things. I know he's just a drama queen. You accuse me of things, you give no proof, no evidence, and that's really it. Okay. If anyone's got questions, you can put them in the chat. And I'm going to have Glenn call in a second. Let me see. I called him at 39. I'm going to go play this song again while I set up the call in. Which, Rolo, by the way, you're welcome to call in. I know he did a 4-hour stream. I just couldn't believe it. I'm like, this guy is getting old. He should get a hobby or something. I don't know.
You found God at the bottom of a bottle. You were out living life full throttle. I found God at the end of a heartbreak. I didn't think there was much more I could take. I'm a sinner, this I know. The Bible thumpers tell me so. Life has got me feeling kinda low. I'm a sinner, this I know. The Bible thumpers tell me so. Life has got me feeling kinda low. But that's why I pray, so there'll be better days. Maybe I won't be a sinner always. That's why I pray, God lead the way. Maybe one day I won't be so afraid. That's why I pray. the Jesus folk. They don't listen, they just like to talk. But I believe in better days. I believe that Jesus saves. God, please show me the way. That's why I pray. So there'll be better days. Maybe I won't be a sinner always. That's why I pray. God, lead the way. Maybe one day I won't be so afraid. That's why I pray.
Hey, say you looking for better days. You need to change from the old you to better ways. Cause God was calling your name, but you ran away. Then decided to blame the church cause you was led astray. I cannot walk in the counsel of the wicked. Psalm 1:1, but the close the eyes to miss it. Cause I'm being tricked by all these feminist witches. I guess they don't get it, but that's why I pray.
So there'll be better days.
Maybe you won't be asking me always.
That's why I pray. God, lead the way. Maybe one day I won't be so afraid. I'm a sinner, this I know. The Bible thumpers tell me so. Life has got me feeling kind of low.
I know I do force you guys to listen to my mixtape. Okay, I just sent it to him. Okay, wait. Okay, I just sent. Let's see. 1 second. Do I want to tell? Oh, everything's so nitpicky. I like have a list of stuff that he was saying. Because I said abortion papers, and maybe I didn't communicate ultrasound. I'm out to get him. I mean, this is just tiring. This is getting tiring. Personal attack. He's mad that bigger shows have me on instead of him on. I mean, I can't really control that, Rolo, you know. Yeah. All right. We're going to go on the website while we're waiting for Glenn to go in. If you guys have questions, you feel free to go on the website. I mean, but the greatest part about this was he said he was done talking. All I really wanted, to be honest, was for him to stop lying. That's all I need, is just stop making up complete stories based on very little evidence, based off of an email, a deleted tweet from 3 years ago. I mean, if you're going to make a claim, I just would like real proof. Real proof. Not all this little workarounds, all these random screenshots. Real proof. That's it. And if I messed up, you know, I'll own it. But anyways, here. Let me, okay. So now I'm going to watch an old episode on the pregame while I wait for Glenn. Glenn, I'm going to just say text me when you're on. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Wait, where's the link to the frickin'... I don't see the link to the pregame show you're talking about. I just see the pregame show. Okay, well, I guess I'll put on a random one. Let's see. They want the one where there's like a kick out. Oh, this was when Anton was on.
What up, guys? Well,
okay, let me share my screen. 1 second. Oh my gosh, I looked like a mess when I did this show. I was so exhausted. This was my 3rd show that day. Oh, I remember this.
welcome to the job.
Pair of J's, what do you want, babe? Like, thank you for participating and helping me and like supporting me. I know it's weird, but
No, you're really selling yourself
That makes
short.
sense.
No.
That makes sense.
You're selling yourself short.
in what way?
Okay, wait. Doug, if you have the actual, look in the link. What link on the website?
I think you under the wrong tutelage. I really do.
The one wrong what?
Tutelage. I think that you need to. Nah, that's a whole nother conversation.
No, I want to hear it.
question. Oh, I have a question.
I want to know about the right tutelage.
Yeah, me
Whose tutelage you should be under?
I think that
What is tutelage?
I know. I was
Steve, I do have a GoFundMe. It's on the. He asked. I do have a GoFundMe for the documentary. We're at like 12,000. I have the first payment done for them, but the next payment I have to raise. But we're at 12,000. So.
I was thinking.
I believe that you can be a lot more successful, and I think that you're probably selling yourself short. I'm not really sure that you got the right guy.
Okay, he's saying the website chat. Okay. Let's see here. And he says it's at 55 minutes. Oh, this day. This was a rough day.
What's happening if I had some, more experienced friends telling me, go to a psychologist, go to a coach and see what is wrong with you. Maybe there's something wrong with you. But I didn't have any of those.
No, and I understand what you're saying. Like what I'm disagreeing on is when you said you had to be a single mother. Like you had no choice in it, when it seems like everything was your choice.
Question.
Yeah.
No,
like you had to be independent, but it seems like you chose to be independent.
I chose to be independent.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of when we talk to the next generation, it's like we make it seem like there was no choice when it was all your choice.
No, actually, you're right. It was my choice.
Yeah.
So I got divorced without telling my parents. And I got pregnant because it was, I just thought, my mom kept telling me, you need to have a child. Maybe you won't be lonely. And then, just don't, because they don't. That time, they never wanted me or even my sister to get divorced. I mean, it was, I brought up in a very traditional family.
Do you have a daughter or son?
Daughter.
Daughter. Was that hard on her? Her parents getting, how old was she when you guys got divorced?
3 years old, yeah. So
I forgot about this lady. Oh, I forgot, Doug. I know what you're talking about. Oh, this was such a... Oh, this was...
I can't say everyone would have this, but I was quite fortunate that I had that relationship because I wanted the best for my daughter.
But do you not think the best for your daughter would have been to stay with her father?
By the way, guys, you can see all my old shows on the AudacityNetwork.com. We're on both app stores. And what we're going to do is I'm going to bring in some of the highly intelligent men that I know in my network. And I find that the most intelligent people are not famous. They're men like my dad. And what they're going to do is they're going to give presentations on how they were so successful in their specific field. A lot of them will stay anonymous, but I will verify that they are the real deal. We are starting this in April. And for this week, you can get this at our monthly or yearly membership cost. This is going to be expensive in a week, though. This is going to be a couple $100, maybe $1,000. However, if you get it this week, guys, you're locked in as a thank you for supporting me.
No, not if two people are not truly in love with each other and she sees us argue every day. No.
Wouldn't a better solution be to just not argue every day?
Well, I'll ask you this: when you have children and you get yourself into that position and you're not in, then you come back and let's have this podcast again. Let's answer that question again, because I don't think.
Could you just answer the question? Like, I understand I don't have kids, and you keep bringing this up like you don't have kids. Yeah, okay, I know. So my question is, wouldn't a better solution be to just not argue every day for the kids?
No, because that's impossible.
How is it impossible? It takes two people to argue.
How many relationships do people have? Like, you can't, you're going to say, what was the best for my child when I split up is that me and my partner had the best relationship. Let me finish. I went to back home. So I played the role of the father as the mother and the father, and I spent every month with my daughter. I paid every month. I went there every month. I made sure she was okay from every day. Up until she was 18 years old, I made sure she's had everything, and she's still here with me now. And I don't know how many fathers can truly say, actually, even if they do that, and when you have kids...
So you're saying you paid 100% for your son or your daughter? Your daughter.
No, my daughter.
Okay, and he didn't pay at all, or did he have her?
I did a reversed role. So rather than the father going off on leave, the mother went off and worked. So it was just a reversed role.
Okay.
I was very fortunate as well, because Neda's dad, my ex, he always, the first 2-3 years, obviously because of divorce, we were going through, madness up and down. But after 2-3 years that I settled down with her, and he was saying, actually, I'm not divorced because I want to go around and look for boys. He actually realized I'm a really good mom, and right now he's my best friend.
Yeah,
he's my best friend, and Neda is seeing his dad.
My ex-husband was my.
I'm gonna take a second. Actually, I'm gonna wait.
Every weekend. So
it almost seems like it could have been worked out if they were your best friends.
No,
sounds like the same to me.
Because this just doesn't like.
I am married.
It just.
Okay, have you got children?
2.
Right, so when you split up, come back, and then.
But let me tell you something.
Why would you wish that on him?
Because I don't.
Why would you wish him splitting up?
Because right now you're happily married and you've got 2 children.
But there is no personal responsibility. Look, I was in a very similar situation. I'm going to say I didn't do everything that I could have done to make sure that we stopped arguing. It got to a point where it could have gotten really bad, and my daughter was 6 at the time. I didn't find a way. Like, you got to take some personal responsibility instead of saying it's not possible, because I don't want people her age to listen to us and be like, oh, well, if it doesn't work out and we argue, let's just have a divorce.
Especially if there's kids involved.
You've got to give them another choice. Like, look, I didn't have the strength at the time.
My grandma, who's 90 years old, told me just the other day, like 2 weeks ago, that me and my wife need to stay together regardless of anything, just for the sake of the fact that we have a 3-year-old daughter.
And I appreciate, you know what, you just hit the nail on the head, because I appreciate what your grandma said at 90 years old. Did she have Instagram? Did she have social media?
Get off Instagram.
I'm not on it.
No. Listen,
if my wife is going to be tempted, if my wife is going to be tempted by social
blame
media,
Instagram on why marriage
by a glass by the Black Mirror, then she doesn't need to be my wife.
No, it's not just Instagram. It's our social lifestyle to. If you looked at the traditional marriage, to look at traditional marriage
is that
now,
more important than working on your relationship? Like,
fair question.
Really, is Instagram really that much more important?
Okay,
is living your social life that much more important?
But how social is it if you're just on your phone scrolling? It's not like you're out with other people. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry, but 20 years ago, I didn't have a phone to scroll on.
Exactly, and you could have worked on different things.
No, it didn't work that way because we just weren't compatible.
No, I think. Can I say something? I think when
had a conversation.
There's people. There's people that think that they're compatible. They don't.
Look, no one's saying you did the wrong thing, but.
I think there's going to be millions of people that are going to ask you why you think that they've done wrong.
See, even this, I regret this a little bit. I do. Who cares if it's the wrong thing? She was going to do what she was going to do. I mean, I get it. Like, at some point, it was entertaining. And yeah, it was definitely the wrong thing. But what's the point? Do you know what I mean? She's going to do that anyway.
Wrong. And they're going to come and say to you, good luck to you right now with you
Yeah, but I think that's
two
wrong.
children.
I think that's wrong.
Yeah, that is wrong.
Instead of telling young people,
I
no,
wish
do
you all the best,
whatever
my
you
brother.
can. Do whatever you
wish you all
can.
the
Like,
best.
do not give up. Work
Come
on
on.
it. Like what his grandma said. Like, you got to do whatever it takes. Not just to stay married, but to stay in a healthy marriage. Do you know what I mean? Not like stay in an argument. Yeah, I
Tell
did
him
break
again.
up because of my daughter, because I didn't want her to see the arguments. But Pearl just hit
Hold
on the
on,
nail. It's
you're
like, well, why do
talking
you
about,
argue,
okay,
though?
so let's take, you're going to take
And that's
some
more of a
wider field. So
traditional
you're
thing to
talking
stay
about
together for the sake of the
domestic
child.
I wish
So
that I
you're
knew
going to
about
talk,
Okay, lady,
you're going to talk about
lady,
domestic abuse,
lady,
not why
okay,
people
okay,
act that
lady,
harassing their
lady,
wives.
Oh.
But all of that
That's where we're going down.
Go. She's got to go. She's too drunk. She's got to go.
No, I'm not drunk. You're talking about
You are
domestic
too
abuse.
drunk. You need to-
I didn't say domestic
No,
abuse.
she's got to go.
I didn't say that.
Jeez, man, Drew for the
No,
headphones.
she's got to.
In a healthy marriage, if you put your hands
Lord
on
have
me, I'm
mercy.
holding, please. One moment, put your hands on me.
It's time to go.
I'm saying to you,
Boy,
Thank
a physical.
phone. Yeah, I want a phone.
Lord of mercy.
Thank you. We'll get your phone. I miss him. I miss him. I'm a security guard. He's hilarious.
Yo, what's going on?
I didn't do anything to you.
Yo, what's going on?
Get your hands off me.
What's going on?
Get your hands off me now. Get your fucking hands off me. No one's done. They're gonna watch this podcast.
My girl, I get litty, boy.
I was so tired.
Gin and juice, boy. Kids
You're
stay
gonna
in
get your
school.
stuff, Sam. It's okay. Just come out.
Kids stay in
Grab
school.
grab her shoes.
Stay in school, kids.
I miss Blessing. Someone asked me what happened to him, but he had to stay in England. I just couldn't take everyone with, but I miss him.
Don't drink alcohol, especially
She was
gin and
talking-
juice.
And from whatever happened between you two, I knew.
Don't drink it, baby.
I told her. I said,
Yeah, this is why
That girl
I was
got
so
litty.
done. Oh, I was so done with shows. Okay, I'm going to take a second to read the chat. I'm going to see if Glenn's coming soon because I want to get to the actual topic tonight. Okay, let me read the chat on the website. So, Zach, peep over the top, boys. Thanks for being here in the chat this evening. Hey there, okay, let me read. Rolo's behaving like a woman, a douchebag. Pearl, I wouldn't even bother mentioning his name. He's acting like a 304. Look, I'm just to the point where I've had to listen to everybody talk about me for years. And there's certain things I just want to give my side of the story. And then if anyone ever asks me about it again, I'll say this is the live stream. You can hear me talk about it there. I understand that I didn't have to. I get it. But it's been like 3 years of him blacklisting me behind the scenes. 3 years of him just making up stories about me. And I'm a little bit exhausted from it. So, you know, I'm not a perfect person. I get it. But when you're saying stuff that's just not true, I get a little annoyed. Okay. Rolo's a stubborn old man. He'd rather send smoke signals than collaborate. It's obvious that you're the flavor of the day in the red pill market. Your real competition is Andrew Tate, not that old fart. I think everyone can kind of do their own thing, you know. It's funny, a 50-year-old guy wearing a wife beater. The only reason he made the video is because you rehashed it and talked about it on your show a few days ago. I understand that point of view, Anna. I don't care. You know, it just is what it is. If he is going to make things up, I have a right to clear my name. So, is any of it worth watching? It was 4 hours. It's not real. I mean, it's the same old stuff he always says. It's nothing really new. Fazal, his pessimism is his problem, not yours. He makes a living flapping his lips. That doesn't mean he should get in your head. You got a vision, tackle the obstacles and move forward. He's riding your coattails. Don't give him a second thought. You know, you could put this to bed. Stop talking about. I'm done after this. I really am done. And if you guys want to call in later and ask me, I mean, you can ask me about anything he said, really. People want to believe that they only have the correct take on controversial issues because if you were right, then it would make me wrong. And to be honest, Pearl, just start the show. I'm gonna a little, yeah, I mean, when you're accusing me of setting you up, when you're accusing me of going, but like sabotaging you behind the scenes, when you're openly admitting that you're doing it to me, and now you're accusing me of it's kind of insane. So I'm going to text Glenn one more time to see. Okay. So I'm going to start the show. And then if Glenn calls in, I'll take a break. Yeah. And I have nothing bad to say about him other than please stop making stuff up about me, which apparently he said he's done. So I hope he is. I really do. Okay. Okay. Also, guys, we're really close to covering my producer costs. Thank you guys so much. You guys are amazing. But yeah, that's pretty much it. The other things, he rehashes some beef me and Myron have. Yeah, Myron thought I was a snake because I did the wrong thing in a situation like years ago. I apologized for 2 years straight. And at some point he accepted it. Yeah. And who is Gina? He says I worked with someone named Gina. That I was just confused about. Okay, guys. So let's get to the topic. Okay. I know, me and Myron are fine. There's no... Anyways, I'm going to move on to the topic. I know. I like Myron. Myron's a cool guy. Okay, so I have been talking about radical acceptance on my channel as of late. And, you know, there was a point in my career, and I think a lot of people kind of relate to this when you're young, where you moralize and think that you can change the entire world. You know, I think that's why, like, hippies was, you know, there's a lot of people alive today that when they were young were hippies, you know. It's why people have these phases in college where they're like blue-haired feminists or whatever. But there was just a point where I was debating on these issues all the time, and I just had to accept that things were just not going to change. Now, I want to give an example of this is pro-life versus pro-choice debate. So as you guys know, I'm very pro-life. My mom took me to pro-life rallies when I was like 12 years old. Like we went to a Sarah Palin rally. And what happened at these was I actually remember debating. I don't know why. I remember being like 12 and debating abortion on the playground. And this is an especially near and dear issue to my heart because my parents have been on both sides of adoption. So they've given a kid up for adoption and we've also adopted. I've been on both sides. But I just refuse to argue about abortion anymore. And the reason I came to this conclusion, there was a couple reasons. So first of all, my dad, he thinks I'm a little extreme. He's always been conservative, and my dad is one of the reasons I am conservative. But he even thought that the abortion stuff is just too far. And I said, Dad, but you don't think it's murder? Like, you don't think it's wrong? And he said, yeah, it is, but it's never going to change. Most people don't agree that it should be legal at 9 months. So why don't we just cut a deal with them? Why don't we just say, okay, 3 months, cut a deal, be done, quit arguing about it? And another reason I came to this conclusion was when I was in London, I would show women videos of abortions. I would show them actual, evidence of how terrible abortions were. And they don't care. They don't care in the slightest. Women TikTok their abortions now. And I realized it's always been this way because if you look at the infant mortality rate of 100 years ago, I believe it's similar to the abortion rate today because women were either being negligent or killing their kids. That's what I believe. That it's possible, it's not true, but that. And I really thought that somehow I was doing something moral by arguing about these issues. I really did. At the time, you almost develop like a hero complex, and you feel like by debating this stuff, you are saving society, saving the babies, whatever it is. But there are some ships that are just sinking, and that's the best way I can describe it. So, the abortion, I understand we won Roe versus Wade. Maybe the abortion rate goes down slightly, but overwhelmingly women have won. They won. They get abortions and they're going to have them forever. At least as long as I am alive in my lifetime. I am encroaching in on 30. I'm 28. And so I'm getting close to my halfway around. Like, let's say I live to be 80. I'm a decade. I don't really see this changing in my lifetime. Okay. And radical acceptance has really made me think about my morals and it's made me a happier person. Because before, if I would debate somebody about abortion, I would get really frustrated if they didn't see my point of view. And I would view them as immoral. I would think that they were an immoral person and I was fighting on the side of morality. And what I realized is that people have a right to their hell. Now, I believe abortion is murder. If it were up to me, it would be illegal. But people have a right to make complete chaos in their lives. And some people will just not learn from their mistakes until their life is a living hell. 28 and granny. I know, I'm like a granny. If I live to be 95, I'm going to be pissed. I don't want to live that long. So I used to, and I really do regret this to some. I can't say I regret it because it was what I believed at the time, but I think you guys have sort of seen me grow up a little bit on camera because I've been making TikToks since I was 24. 23, maybe 22. I don't know. 23 or 24. So you guys have kind of seen me like live through my 20s, right? And well, even in that clip, I was saying abortion's morally wrong. Being a single mother is morally wrong. And well, that may be true. Radical acceptance has helped me separate the morality of women's actions to have a better discourse and accept things the way that they are. Because, there's some stuff that women are just never going to change, ever. Ever. And you get to a certain point where you realize that there are causes that are just sinking ships. They're going down, and you got two choices. You can either save yourself and go learn to swim, or try to save everybody that wants to drown. So I started thinking about this. And I started thinking, what would it take for the average person to give up on a hopeless pursuit? What would it take for the average person to give up on a cause that's losing? You know, for example, I've met so many people over the years that are environmentalists. They care a lot about the environment. And when I went to a Kamala rally, that was not one of the main, but that was a not uncommon answer that I got from people when I was interviewing, was that they were voting for Kamala to save the environment. And I also meet so many people that understand that there's not really much that we can do to save the environment. You know, Americans think that driving a hybrid or recycling will make a dent in the world pollution problem. But, you know, I've actually been to India. I went there a decade ago. I promise to God, we are not doing shit when it comes to the environment. Nothing. And I see all this, you know, time and energy that they're spending on a cause that's just sinking. It's a sinking ship. So I've also, you know, I have a vegan guitar teacher, and I've told you, I think he's been on the show, and he's a really intelligent guy, really smart guy. And I was having a conversation with him the other day, and I was asking him, what would it take for him to abandon this, you know, because he's not a Trump fan, obviously, right? But I asked him, I said, how much more money would you have to make under Trump to abandon this vegan stuff, to abandon this environment stuff? And at first I said, you know, $10,000 a month, would you do it? And he said, no, I walked away from all this money before. I wouldn't do it. Because he worked in, really smart guy, really great person. But he worked in finance before. And then I kept upping the number, and I saw him, you know, getting closer. And then I said, what about this music opportunity? What if this musical under Trump, there was some sort of funding that went towards musicals, and you got an amazing role in one? Would you abandon, so on your Trump ticket, it says you get this opportunity, but F the environment. The environment, there's no policies. It's all drill, baby, drill. Would you vote for it? And I said, for me, if Kamala went out and said abortion's up to 9 months, but you get your monetization back, or the divorce laws change tomorrow, I would say, fuck it. Click. I'd say Kamala. You know, so at a certain point, there are causes that are not worth fighting. And it's not necessarily compromising your morals, because I would never perform an abortion. I would never get an abortion. There's no amount of money that could make me do that. They could not pay me. But I also am aware that I cannot stop these hoes from killing their kids. I cannot. You guys are saying hell no. I mean, if they want to throw their kids in dumpsters, how many kids get thrown in dumpsters every year that nobody finds? Only God can change a woman's mind. The most you can do is try to convince women to do the right thing, is that she'll make harmful choices and more enthusiastically out of spite. Exactly. At some point, it's a lost cause, and you got to abandon the sinking ship, because if you don't abandon the sinking ship, you will drown. Now, I want to tell this other story. So this is kind of interesting. And I genuinely think that I had someone on my show a while ago. I never released the footage because he was just too controversial. And it just didn't make sense for me. But he had his version, I'll just say, of a sinking ship. So he really believed in the J question. I'm not getting into that, but he showed me his evidence, and it was very convincing, and he really laid out his case, and I really understood why he believed what he believed. But I could just see that he was an older guy, like 70s, and I could just tell that all of the years he spent fighting, he could have been building something. If he just accepted, he spent years arguing over this topic. And if he just said, you know what, this is the way it is. Let me go navigate the world the way it is and maybe build an app, maybe, build something to make my community's life better. And I realized, I was like, I don't want to turn into this guy. I don't want to go crazy fighting for stuff that'll just never change and getting hopeful and expecting things to change. I would rather just accept and navigate the world the way it is. For example, you could have a conversation saying, degeneracy is bad. Degeneracy, like no sleeping around. We hate whores. But or you could say, if you're going to sleep around, these are the STDs that can ruin your life. These are the STDs you got to watch out for. These are the risks. These are the pros. These are the cons. If you're going to do it this way. If you choose not to, try an arranged marriage, ask your family. There's practical ways that we can kind of take away the morality and just have a little bit more interesting of a conversation, because morality is not going to change the way the world is. Any group, you're going to have the same dynamic. Women go for 20% of men, then convince the next 20% they didn't sleep with the top 20% of men. Get married, divorce. I mean, there's just stuff that's never going to change. And growing up, my dad, he never verbalized this to me, but he really had this point of view, or has, I would say, because he would, every time gossip would come out or a crazy story or like something in our town, I would say, Dad, can you believe it? This happened. And he would say, what do you expect? People are people. Nothing surprises me. And my dad is a very happy person. And he just never, even though my dad is a very, very moral, like the way he lives his life is stupid moral. He just works, doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, doesn't cheat. He's just, when you meet, like if you ever meet my dad, he's just a great person. And he doesn't really worry about political, he casts his vote and then he goes. My boyfriend's another one who really showed me this. I mean, there were just times where, we were talking and he would kind of just show me how this was a waste of time arguing about morality. I'm going to read the chat really quick, and then Anna says all right, let me see. All right, Steve, I can't imagine that the one woman in the chat is the one bitching. Sorry, Anna. Thanks for being on the website. I'm just being honest here. Okay, let me go. I was a happy back when I had more hair. I remember the days when I had hair too. I had fro to end in tox. My hair looked like a football helmet. And I'd like to say, my dad, because he didn't waste his time on this political stuff, probably could have more political influence than any guy in politics, because he spent time making money, and money is actually, if you really want to drive change, you make money first and then you could then do influence. Giving up and men people giving up and men giving a little here and a little there is exactly what got us into this mess. Not really. It's the only thing that'll get us out of this mess. It really is. The only power you have is walking away. There are two choices: confront evil or stay silent and avert your eye. The third option is to live truth and be prepared to witness those who have chosen to embody evil. Yet you can't control another person. That's what it comes down to. I can't control if a woman gets an abortion. I'm not responsible. I can give them the facts. If women want to go catch herpes, I can't really. She says it's the end of the road for her. Okay, Anna, I'll see ya. The women can't take it. Okay, I don't bother saving anyone. I just give them enough rope and let them hang themselves. And sometimes you got to let people fail. If you don't let them fail, to be honest, guys, my dad, during the last year, when I had all these like business problems, my dad let me fail. When I was burning through cash because I overhired people, when I was making management mistakes, my dad very well could have saved it for me. And he's so intelligent because he just said, no, you need to learn. And to be honest, guys, I have a really good feeling this time around. I know Anna's leaving, right? But I am in so much better of a position now because I failed, because I have a new business model, and in 6 months I understand how to do it. And I understand how to grow other people's accounts too. And this is going to be a great business model that's going to keep me employed forever. And I never would have learned it if I didn't fail. Researchers waste billions of dollars identifying issues that are bad for humanity, while they could just follow blue-collar progressives. Whatever they do tends to be bad for the country and humanity. Only God can save them. Yeah, there's at some point where you say, you know what? Only God can save you. You can give people the information, right? You can warn people marriage is a bad deal. You can give people the information, and you know what? Men with marriage, there are men that get married 3 times. Joel, and every time they'll get divorce raped and they just want to do it again. Our big agribusiness, I need to learn to read better, destroys more animal habits and forests than meat production. Barth and Catholics used to have meatless Fridays. Fazell, I'm a carnivore. When I see cows in the field, all I see is steaks. Makes me want to run and bite their asses. I'm on board, pull the gang plunge. Richard, I would say they are being manipulated to go against their own interests. I am being the naive one because people seem to really enjoy the moral decay and don't give an F. No, women aren't being manipulated, guys. It's what we want to do. And, I got to be honest, there was a point where I had to ask myself during this whole thing, why am I not married? And I realized in my early 20s, I really wanted to play volleyball. That's what I wanted to do. Nobody brainwashed me. Nobody convinced me. I loved playing volleyball, and that was my priority at the time. And there was a point where I really thought that I wanted to be married, right? I really just thought it would happen. But then I had to think further, and I thought, you know what? If I really wanted to be, I would have downloaded Hinge. I would have gone on a date every day until I find a guy. I would have said, Dad, who are you setting me up? There was things I would have did, and I didn't. So I wasn't brainwashed. I made my choice. I made my choices at the time. I can barely change myself. How can I change someone else? Yeah. If you want to succeed in life, double your failure. Yeah, I do think it's true. It's better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all, because at least you can learn from it and move on. I mean, personally, I think the whores I respect more than Lolo Jones, who was a virgin at 40. At least the whores went for what they wanted, you know. At least the gold diggers are shooting for the stars. I'm not saying either's great, but sticking a bobby pin in an outlet teaches a lot, you know. Okay, I'm going to do a call-in because I don't think Glenn... Oh, I guess there might be... Oh, he's saying you should wait and to make an estate. I don't know if can I read this or no? I'm not going to. Oh. I personally. Oh, and the other thing. Okay, whatever. So I'm going to put the Zoom link in the chat. And then people can call in. Doug, if you want to give your thoughts first, please feel free to. But yeah, so I want to hear from you guys and what you guys have to say. And I want to know, what lost cause did you give up on? And what made you give it up? Was your life better after you gave it up? Mine is abortion. You guys win. Kill your babies. I don't care anymore. I don't care. And I'm a happier person for it. Is there a cause you gave up on? And by the way, there's 3 more days. This is my Friday, my producer's back. So you guys won't have to deal with this self-producing BS ever again. Thank you guys so much for bearing with me through this terrible time. Doug, are you on? Is that you?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thanks for asking. I appreciate it. And thank you for all the new faces in the chat on YouTube and on the chat on the website. A whole lot of new faces. So thanks for being a member on the website, and thank you for being in the best chat on YouTube, everyone. I really appreciate it, and Pearl does too.
Can you believe it that the only woman in the chat couldn't take it? Sorry.
And it's cool people. She's cool
I like her. I like her. I thought it was funny. I'm like, they only last so long, huh? She said she was out. I'm like, well, I can't. Was there a cause? Actually, first, I do want to read what Glenn had to say. He said, I will address the claims that were made at a later time with legal counsel once we file our cease and desist. I should wait until I am able to make a statement with my attorney since I'm going to sue Rolo for slander and defamation. This might enter a lawsuit. Okay. Well, I mean, he was pulling on the hooker thing was complete BS. I think. I can't prove it or it's like, but okay. So what cause did you give up, Doug?
So the cause I gave up, Doug MPA, I've been black on this planet for, I'm in my 40s. And, I grew up in a predominantly white area. My parents moved there for a reason. I went to a predominantly white school. I got good grades, all these different things. And I've had this relationship with the black community that wasn't always healthy. And, my dad's a professional, very successful. My mother was too. And early on, they told me this whole Black Nation thing, oh yeah, what up, brother? What up, sister? Let it go. Because you'll get snaked where I think it's like this with women. Women realize this with other women, how women will snake you the worst. But as a black person, like you get snaked the worst by other black people. So the worst thing you could do if you want to be a professional, successful black person is leave the Black Nation behind. Because all it'll do, if you're successful, you speak a certain way, walk a certain way, you're never going to be black enough. They're always going to question who you are, what your motivations are. Leave the Black nation behind. And I went through a period where, I was like, oh yeah, pro-Black, whatever, but it didn't last long. So one of the biggest causes I had to give up on was this whole Black nation thing, and my life has been better because of it.
How far in it were you? Like, what age did you give it up?
In my mid-20s. I went.
Do you think 22-year-old you would have been at a BLM rally? Be honest.
Well, I mean,
be honest. Sorry.
Well, I was never really. I've never been to a rally in my life. That was always too much, and that's because in my hometown, we have this college there that's known for protesting everything. So the college students there, they shut down roadways for the dumbest stuff like that. So I was never really a rally person, but yeah.
Would you have posted?
I may have drank some of the Kool-Aid when I was young. I'm not gonna lie.
Would you have posted a black square?
You know what? Sadly,
it's okay.
22-year-old me would have posted a black square on Facebook and Instagram. Yes, I'm not gonna lie.
Do you know what's funny? There were some black girls on my team that unfollowed me at the time because I wouldn't post a black square. I was like, really? What is this square gonna do?
But I'm telling you guys, you're I see women sticking other women, it's usually your own people. In my whole experience, I'm a professional. I have a bachelor's degree. I have a master's degree. I'm pretty successful. And my whole life in an academic and professional setting, my worst enemy has always been another Black person. Always. And then I was like, oh yeah, white people this, white people that. Nope, it's always your own people. They will snake you the worst, sell you out, destroy your character, question your morals, your character, your ethics, your Blackness. Just don't even get involved with it. Now, and that means that I keep everyone at arm's length. A lot of people will automatically trust someone or let a person from their same group get close to them. Don't do it, guys. Put everyone through the same vetting process, because you will get snaked the worst by your own kind.
Got it. Is anyone else on the call or no? I can't see.
I don't see anyone else.
Okay.
And also, I guess it's from where I'm from, but I had to give up being a liberal.
You were a liberal?
Oh yeah, I was. Yeah.
Dog.
Yeah,
When did you? What age did you give that up? Also mid-20s.
Yeah.
Oh, it was
20s.
later. Was it at 30?
One of the best things you can do, guys, is move out of your hometown, see different parts of the country, and see other countries, and that'll put you at least at a moderate and make you a conservative at the most. But when I started living around the country and realizing how other people thought, I've lived in 11 different states, and being on the extreme left and the extreme right is a luxury. And it's usually held by people who've never experienced other cultures and other types of people. So, when I gave up being a liberal, my whole life was just better, because one of the worst parts about liberals is that they latch on to these big causes instead of taking personal accountability and responsibility. Whereas being a moderate and a conservative, it's about fixing yourself and creating your castle first and then helping others. Understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and also when I say,
that's okay.
I'm at the point now where if it's have a conversation about anything, politics or otherwise, I'd rather have a conversation with a conservative than a liberal, because at least we have a baseline of, we can agree on what a woman is. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the.
What were you gonna say?
Well, that's the thing. It's about. Like this show it's not about, because we were talking before, it's not about like compromising your morals. It's just like kind of picking what battles you can win. And there's no virtue in picking a losing battle. Do you know what I mean? If you don't change anything anyways, what was the virtue in it? It's an example of this. So I always say, because I've always been right leaning, like my mom took me to Sarah Palin rallies, and who's echoing? Is that you, Doug, or someone on the call?
Yes, everyone, put yourself on mute, please, and then I'll make sure to get to Carlos. You're first.
Yeah, guys.
Seb, and then Nick. But
yeah,
put yourself on mute, Carlos. Okay.
Yeah, make sure you guys are muting, and then we'll get to you. But I'm very glad I wasn't during the January 6th stuff. I'm very glad I wasn't politically active, because I just could have seen myself going to something like that when I was younger. And I thank God every day. And I asked my dad, I said, Dad, do you view the people from January 6th as brave or stupid? And my dad was like, they're stupid. Like that was dumb. And I asked like 3 other people this, and they all had the same answer. And I couldn't believe it, because I was like, I thought they were brave. And they're like, there's no virtue in like being the guy that takes the fall, Yeah,
or losing your freedom.
Yeah.
You can't do anything when you're locked up.
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead.
Okay, let me see who else is on the line here. Carlos Acosta, are you ready? Unmute.
Yeah, I can talk.
Yeah, go ahead, buddy.
All right. Well, hello.
Hi, Carlos. How's it going?
It's going all right. So the topic is, what's something, a cause that you've given up on, correct?
Yeah.
A lost cause.
Lost cause.
This is actually, I'd say, a pretty big deal in my life, because a little bit about myself. I have ADHD, and I also took like this cognitive exam, and I have like I'm what's called, and I think a lot of people with ADHD probably have something similar. It's called you're twice exceptional, where you're disabled, but you're also gifted in something else. And this causes a lot of confusion, because sometimes people think, oh, you're really smart, so why are you having a problem with this thing?
Mm-hmm.
And my whole life, I've like been, I keep explaining myself to people, like, oh, like I'm, like I explain my thoughts to people, and like I come at it from like a very nice, like, place, and I've kind of like slowly have started to learn how to just be like an asshole and just like not like even bother to entertain the criticisms that people have of me, especially like women, because at least with guys you can kind of like be like, bro, but and just certain types of people, and it's a thing of where you're in school and you do well in a test, and then they're like, oh man, this guy got an A in that, man, he figured that out. And then but then when they see that your disabilities, they start to pick on you, right? And I used to sort of think like, oh, it's okay, it's just lack of maturity, and at some point people are going to like be mature enough, and they're just gonna understand. And I realize that's never gonna happen. Right? Do you have a response to that, or do I just keep ranting?
No. So
I can say something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead, Doug.
So I have a nephew, and he had ADD, and unfortunately, that label, people automatically associate you with being defective somehow. And so you once that label gets out, you're automatically attached with that. Like ADD is defective. Was that your experience?
What was the exact last word you said? ADHD is what?
So people, when you say you have ADD, they kind of treat you like you're defective somehow.
Well, yes, and sometimes it's not even that you're defective. Because like I think when you have some sort of disability, you assume that because you always assume, this is kind of funny, because it ties back to religion. Because you know how the devil is like the ultimate like accuser, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know how the devil is supposed to be like almost like almost perfect, right? He's not God, but he's like really. And in our heads we assume that the person accusing us is perfect sometimes. At least I do. And I think through a lot of study I realized like, wait a minute, these people probably make more mistakes than I do, like in everyday life. They've just kind of have learned to play this little social game. And another sort of like realization that I had that helped me really like get rid of this. I don't want to get too deep into it, but I'll try to simplify it. So it comes a little bit from psychology and from a little bit of, let's say, computer science, but not really. And it's like, if you think about someone giving an opinion about you, realize that whatever model they have of you in their head is incomplete, right? So you can just sort of assume that, wait a minute, if you don't really have enough information about me, right? And this goes both ways, right? To make a proper assessment of why I did that thing at that moment in time, right? Then you're just basically like blabbering off. You're not really thinking. Now, the problem with that is when you're in a group of people and you're in an environment where like people do this, right? And then you sort of end up in this bad status in that little group, right? And it's sort of like, oh, this annoying person said this thing, or they cut off my disability, and now all these retards are gonna like gang up on me like a bunch of animals, right? But yeah, that's kind of what I realized. And I guess to cap it off is I recently have been, I've returned to school to finish my degree in computer science, and I'm taking a completely like unorthodox approach to like the way I study. Whereas in the past I was just forcing myself. Whereas now I try to develop like a vibe. Like I'll put in like workout music when I'm doing math problems, or I'll like I'll play like videos of lectures in like 2x speed, and I actually learn better that way. But if I told that to anybody, or if somebody saw me doing that wasn't like me, they'd start to criticize me. They think that I'm like, like blowing off my education, or I'm just being weird or something. And they would like try to like interject to quote unquote help, and then just make the whole, one of my last things. Yeah, I'm just rambling. Sorry. Like one of the last things that I've learned, right, is unless someone who's criticizing you, unless you're willing to help you solve that problem, there's no point in paying attention to that criticism, because it's like,
oh, that's a really good point.
Like 99% of the time, whatever problem they're addressing in you, it's like, okay, change how you're doing things. Okay, I'm gonna do things your way, and then you do things your way, and then they don't work out, and then they're like, oh, you didn't do it right. It's like communism has never been tried, right? So I feel like, yeah, it's a thing that just happens with people, and it's like, well, if you're not gonna help, it could be like a family member, it could be a doctor. It's like they can tell you, oh, you gotta cut your carbs, it's like, okay, but are you gonna help me? Because if you're not gonna help me, then
Well, we're gonna move on to the next caller. Just one more piece of advice: stop telling people your stuff. Learn how to keep your mouth shut.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
All right, we're gonna go to the next caller.
Doug, I'm gonna take 1 second because I just forgot to do this. I just want to. Do you think it's okay if I do the names of the people that have signed up?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take it for a second, guys. Thanks so much for again. One of the reasons the documentary was pushed off, and Rolo's saying it's not going to come out. It will come out. It's because I have a lot of projects. And one of these projects is because I got demonetized on YouTube, I had to build an app. And then I had to delete 10,000 videos and upload it to the video, sort the videos. Doug helped a lot with that. Thank you, Doug. Basically, we had to start from scratch. And I really couldn't do it without you guys. We have very intelligent men that are going to be on the platform giving presentations on how you can move up in different industries. These tend to be men that are private. I find that private men tend to be smarter than YouTubers. The smartest men I know don't really desire fame like that. Maybe it's a little dig at me. I don't know. But I've spent I'm going to be doing this forever. And the first 1,000 people that join in the next week, you're a part of my program for eternity, and I will be doing this forever. So, if you believe that, you should sign up, because there will be very intelligent people that will be on in our members only community. So I'm going to read all the people that have joined, and I thank you guys so much for joining. You guys are amazing. Alan, I'm just going to do first names because I don't want to dox anybody. Don't worry. Alex, thank you. Damien, thank you. We got a $10 and a yearly one from Alan. The yearly ones help us a lot because, it gives us more money up front. I'm trying to invest in a couple things, one of them being the documentary, so it really helps. So the program is you just go to theaudacitynetwork.com. You just sign up for my monthly or yearly memberships. Again, I reward people that believe in me early on because it's going to be very easy to believe in me in a year. You guys can just take my word for it. I always figure stuff out. You guys saw me build one of the biggest YouTube shows in the country from zero. 4 years ago when I went to England, I got demonetized. Knocked back down, had to build an app. Now we're starting over, but it's going to be cool. There's going to be events. There's going to be, we're starting in April. It's probably going to be Tuesday nights where we bring on the smart, intelligent, private men that I know to give presentations on on how you can get into their industries. So Joshua, thank you. Austin, thank you. Right Winger Austin, thank you. Nils, thank you. Rick, thank you. Jay, thank you so much. Chris, thank you so much. Yosef, thank you. Hassan, thank you. Is it Hassan Piker? I'm kidding. Mac Farlane. Oh shit. Sorry. Why did I do that? We'll edit it later. Mac, thank you. Glenn, thank you. Eber, thank you. Kirby, thank you. Douglas, thank you. Another yearly from Hart, thank you. Sean, thank you. Rawasha, thank you. Elliot, thank you. I'm doing all weekends, so this might take a second. Dan, thank you. Yearly membership, thank you so much. Abby, thank you. $10 a month. Kenneth, thank you. Tom, thank you. Matthew, thank you. Mo, thank you. Sean, thank you so much. Charles, thank you. Kiku, thank you. William, thank you. Kobe, thank you. Bradley, thank you. Rob, thank you. Rodolfo, thank you. Chris, thank you. William, thank you. Yankee, thank you. Van, thank you. Nick, thank you. Eric, thank you. James, thank you. Charles, thank you. This guy didn't have that. Roxy, thank you. George, thank you. CS, thank you. Zach, thank you. Oh, Ashley, I know what you were doing on my website. There is a woman that has been on Twitter spurking out at my boyfriend and spreading rumors about him, and she signed up for my site. I canceled your membership, bitch. Get off my site. I don't know why you're on. I don't know why you're trying to get on it, but you're not invited. I no, thank you. Okay. Some of these women, they sign up to my website to get dirt on me. Do you not think I'm going to cancel your membership? Okay. John, thank you. Rebel, thank you. Derek, thank you. Dimitri, thank you. Alexander, thank you. I'm almost through them. I'm sorry. This is over the weekend. Oh, wait, that's it. So, again, thank you guys so much. Remember, by the end of the week, this is going to be expensive to be a part of the... I'm telling you, I promise you guys, you're just going to have to take my word. These are going to be very intelligent men that are going to be on here. And you're going to be able to directly ask them questions. You'll have to take my word, but I promise you, this is going to be worth the money. Okay, who's next? Now we're going to go back to... Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to do Seb first. Are you there, Seb?
Yeah, hey, I'm here. Can you let the other guys go first?
Okay.
I have to get to a quiet place and take about 5 minutes.
Sure.
Okay.
All right.
Okay,
Thank you.
AJ's Rants and Raves. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
AJ, what's going on?
Hold on. 1 second. 1 second. He must be away from his thing.
It's all right. That was a long one.
Okay, Buckwheat, are you there?
Oh, the other thing, guys, I might be partnering with some schools soon. I'm not going to say this is going to happen or not happen, but the finishing school could be something that comes semi in the future. I don't know. Could happen soon. But the more people on the website, the more we have proof of concept. I'm letting you guys know, take it or leave it, you know.
Okay. Buckwheat, are you there? Okay, no. So we'll move on to Matt, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Matt, how's it going?
It's been rough. Been hanging in there. How about you? You look like you've been dragged through the trenches a couple of times yourself there, Pearl.
Hey.
Just saying. No, I'm
Okay,
saying I'm talking about all the trolling and shit
that's all right. It's all right. What's going on with you? You said it's been rough. Is it have to do with the topic or is it something else?
Well, the topic sure bleeds into it. You know, it's a lot of things. Like, first of all, like I'm in a month or actually a couple of weeks or so, I'll be turning 40.
Okay.
And so, and life's been rough. Like, I'm also one of those guys with really bad attention deficit disorder.
Okay.
You know, hey, I'm in Canada. Okay. So like I even participated in the Canadian Forces. So I'm a former veteran. And you want to talk about causes that are almost not worth fighting for anymore. I hate to say this, but where I'm living right now in Canada, like Doug said in the chat, Canada is a wasteland of feminists.
Mm-hmm.
And
I always like to thank all of our Australian and Canadian brothers that make it just one more day, man. So congratulations for making it one more day up there, bro.
Well, thank you very much, because I'm eager. I'm trying to get the hell out of this place. Like I said, I'm one of those guys with really bad attention deficit disorder, and you know, Canada's desperate for people, so they let me in the door. I worked in comms, and my body was been destroyed by being subjected to intense electromagnetic energy, running around with radio packs and stuff. And so so I've been the electrical engineer.
Okay.
I've been trying to teach people that there's certain dangers to electromagnetics, and sure enough, I keep getting destroyed for it. But the point I'm trying to talk about is during the C-19 lockdowns, and you saw a lot of people rise up and flood Ottawa there, and with all the truckers. Mm-hmm. People aren't going to take it anymore. It's a bunch of veteran groups that was a part of that, wanted to say no to these things. Meanwhile, since this asshole jerk off Trudeau in Ottawa has stolen so much from us, they've disarmed the country. I was raided. My whole house here was raided by the police.
Crap.
Oh yeah, all for talking too much. My veteran friends and I, we've all been pro firearms. We've been pro independence, pro secession. And we're the guys that defended the country. And so you start seeing farms popping up all over the place, and you start seeing government crack us down on our food supply, taking away chickens, destroying cows. And, and then a while ago, so upset with the way life was behaving. My mother, who has been a nurse in Manitoba here for 40 years, Brian Palliser tried to steal her pension for not cooperating with the injections.
Oh.
I was upset. 40 years. And she dodged a bullet by retiring just 2 weeks before they brought in the material or the laws that would take that away from her.
Mm-hmm.
I got angry. So we started, getting rid of the food that we had and started, growing our own food, taking over with our own farms, putting on solar panels, starting and putting in ham radio equipment, everything you need to do to get government out of your life. And including buying firearms, which is a part of it too. Surely enough, after that, they seized all the handguns. And then they started going by, in my conversation in Telegram, to a guy that had unlicensed firearms hardware 4 years ago. And a year later, I'm going to my university to do my classes like I always do, pull out of my car. Next thing you know, I'm charged for trafficking by the Winnipeg police. And they wanted to put me 3 years behind bars for nothing but a conversation. What did they not like? They didn't like the fact is that people like us, and my guess, were rising up and trying to get away from government. And ever since these incidents happening, there's all kinds of quiet incidences all across Canada where you just say one thing wrong, just one thing, say offering ammunition or saying that you wanted to build a firearm suppressor, just saying that. And that's all they need to rain hell on you across Canada and steal all your property for everything. You stole decades worth of research from me. I had 15 years worth of electromagnetics research that could change how we look at power, and it's all destroyed. And this is all, you want to talk about causes?
Mm-hmm.
This is about trying to maintain your freedom. It's a hopeless cause. This is what hopelessness looks like. Do I think that it's better in the U.S.? No. Well, no, I think the U.S. is a different kind of fucked up. Do I like it better? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think that there's a better hope for it? Yes. But most of the veterans and all the groups that we were part of to try and take back our home from these bastards has fallen. And then groups have all separated, have all fallen apart and no longer talking to each other anymore.
Mm.
It's been a disaster. When we talk about lost causes, that's a lost cause. Most of my veteran friends are broken. They're tossed out in the streets. VAC, Veteran Affairs Canada, has no money to do anything. They won't cooperate with anybody. My body's got decades worth of damage done to electromagnetics to the point where just holding a cell phone makes my hand just turn blistery red. That's how bad it is. Now they recognize that there's allergies and stuff that you can have these problems with, but the problem is trying to shake these bastards up to get something is impossible. And they toss your ass out in the street for anything. So, in the U.S., if you're a vet, you're lucky because in some cases, because there's so much support for you, everybody loves you, everybody wants to hire you, everybody wants you. You're something to look up to. In Canada, you take a tour to Afghanistan, you come back, you're lucky if you get a medal for it, okay? Because a lot of people get nothing. And the only thing you're ever going to get is a card like this for your NDI 75. And maybe if you're lucky, all you can get is all will happen to you is you don't have to fish without a fishing license in your home province.
Do you regret fighting it so hard? In hindsight, yeah. What would you do? What would you do if you had to go back? What would you do different?
If you can get all that energy and resources back and fight a different fight, what fight would you have chosen to fight?
What would I have chosen to fight?
Or what cause would you have taken up if you can get all that time and resources back?
I would probably do more work to convince people of the lies that made Canada Canada is a lie. So when it formed in 1867, everybody believed that we became this country. We never were a country. Ever since Queen Victoria died, we never had any royalty. And so when George V, George VI, Elizabeth, and Sausage Fingers himself took over, they were never legitimate to begin with. And all these years, you go through school and they teach you about Canada being what it is, that it's kind of patriotic to do what your government tells you to do, that it's okay that when Ottawa or provincial government wants to tear down your house, that they're going to put a highway through it, that it's always for the common good, and you're doing Canada's work by allowing yourself to just be keeled over and stepped on. And they teach you that in schools. And I would, if I could do more, learn about more, what I would do is I would teach people how much of a lie Canada was, is, and always will be, and how cowardly people are to just sit back and keel over and just accept it. And it's just been one thing after another. I think that part of the whole feminist thing moving to has a part to play in how cucked everybody is in Canada to just let this happen. How many people I talk to, for instance, this is one thing here, for instance, my college, people, how they have a problem with conceal and carry. They're so against guns. Oh, we should just get rid of them here. And it's that mentality that nothing is ever going to happen to you, and nothing ever can, because Canada's never been conquered, because Canada's is this idea where you could do no wrong, that you could just, if you just cooperate with everybody else, everything will just sink into its place. Meanwhile, inch by inch by inch, people steal from you. And that's not the case. I think that if I can go back, I would teach kids just how much your life has been a lie, your entire life, to just let this version of history be sold to you. And maybe in the next couple generations, if kids could teach themselves and not get divorce raped, that maybe things would start to change. Maybe we'd start looking more like the U.S. I don't know.
Okay. Well, we're gonna move on to the next caller. Thank you for calling in. Call in anytime, my bro.
Yeah, call in anytime. Thank you so much for calling in. I'm sorry to hear about the life situation.
Yeah, it's life, right? It's another part of my journey, right?
It's a rough one. I'm gonna read the website signups really quick, Doug, before we go to the next one. Thank you, Aaron. We got some signups after the last one. Thank you, PJ. Remember, guys, my network's amazing. You guys don't even know the people I know. You don't even know. And these are going to be private events where you can ask them specific questions. And I'm the best at finding people. Did you guys know when I was 22? When I was 22, I lived in Milwaukee. And I decided I was going to have meetings with C-level executives and ask them how they were successful. And I just made a list of 100, and I got 3 to meet with me. I mean, who does that? These were Fortune 500 companies. And I just asked them about life. I can do the same for you guys. If you guys have an industry you want to learn, I'm a woman of the people, all right? So, Ben, thank you so much for signing up. We just had 3 signups right there. Guys, if we get 10 total signups this show, my producer is paid for. And then that's very exciting for me because that means the show's almost YouTube free. It means we're getting closer. Okay, who's the next person?
Okay, AJ, unmute.
Can you guys hear me? Is my microphone working?
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, hey, what's up, guys? Hey, Pearl, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you? Sorry, what did you say your name was?
AJ.
AJ, nice to meet you.
Yeah, so my cause was I used to be big on the whole new atheist non-believer type thing, from 2001 to about 2019. The whole yeah, man, that type of stuff. And the issue with that, because you get into it, And you go from just like not really believing in God or anything to like, oh, there is no God, and I'm gonna watch all these people that are debating all these stupid pastors and blah blah blah.
There's a lot of dumb pastors, so I won't lie.
Yes.
I won't lie. So
But
that's
the
kind
issue-
of yeah.
The issue is that right around 2019, 2018, the whole like non-believer community went woke and let the religion of wokeness in there. So now they're supposed to, oh, we're the reasonable ones and we're all about logic and reason, but we can't tell you what a woman is, and a transformer is a transformer. And if you go to any of these like atheist channels, they have their pronouns. I'm like, what is this? Like, they are more.
So that was when they lost you, huh?
Yes.
That was you were like, ah.
They're more religious than like the religious people that they claim, because you cannot say, hey, I may not accept that there's any type of deity, but I don't know about the whole transformer thing. And then all of a sudden they excommunicate you in the same way that they claim that the Catholics or the Mormons do. But it's way more hardcore, you know? So their whole movement is just gone. They completely lost me. Every other show on all these networks is like hosted by some transformer person or whatever, you know? And it's just, they've just completely lost the plot. So that was one thing for about 10 years of my whole life that I was like, all about. Part of the cause.
That's so much time. Oh, did you regret it, or were you like, oh, it is what it is?
Not really, because it taught me how to debate. Right?
Okay,
It taught me
okay.
how to like do a lot of things. And
You got something out of it at least.
I just think that it's the extra step in like, you know, I'm trying to prove all of you wrong. You know what I'm saying? So now I think it's cool to just say, is Islam true? Is Christianity true? I don't know. I'll figure it out at some point. But to actually take an active stance and be like, it's like, is that the hill you want to die on? You know what I'm saying? Like, really?
Yeah. Do you know what? I think true maturity is when you don't care if you win debates anymore. I don't care.
I think if you guys want to see what like the total summation of that whole movement is, watch when Andrew Wilson bodied Matt Dillahunty, because Matt Dillahunty, he was like the main guy of that whole thing for like 15 years, and then he went from being like a regular old white dude to all of a sudden the pronouns, and now he's like married to a transformer. So dude went totally into all this. You know what I'm saying? So just watch the Andrew Wilson, Matt Dillahunty debate and see how far that whole thing has fallen, you know? And it wasn't a waste of time, but I just think that it's funny that the people that claim the most to be all about logic and reason, and you guys believe in superstition, can't tell you what a woman is. So, but yeah, that's all. I appreciate you guys.
Thanks so much for calling, and that was a great addition. Please call in. That was very funny. That was funny. So call in anytime, okay?
Glenn's here.
Glenn is not here to talk about the topic before, but he did have something to add to the. I messaged him. He did have something to add to the topic. Hi, Glenn. Welcome. Oh, sorry.
Glenn, go ahead. He's unmuted. Glenn, are you there?
We had another new sign up. Thank you, Todd. What a guy, Todd. I guess there's a lot of new messages in the chat. I'll take a second to read the chat on the website, Doug. Okay. Look up the cult of. Okay. If you believe in God, if you believe in God, that is your out to tell anyone pretending they are God, they are not your God. Okay. In life, every choice comes with its own consequences. Serving your country is the highest honor a man can have. Being part of it is a huge privilege. If you put your faith in the world or other people, you'll always be disappointed. He sounds heartbroken. I never had such illusions. AJ, Canada is totally screwed. It's so bad that conservatives are going to get voted in. You are the second most important English-speaking internet influencer after Haas ADHD. In my opinion, I meant to buy a membership for a while now. Keep up the good work. Thank you, PJ. Steve, I'm a vet, and the more we can provide for ourselves, the better. Barton, look, we're occupied by liberal fascists. You have to communicate in code. I was very disappointed in Rolo. I watched the first 40 minutes of his hit piece, and it was a total nothing burger. I know, it's pretty funny, actually. His comments all took my side, and then he kept saying they were, like, fake. I mean, I don't even care, but I'm like, that's so funny.
If you read the comments on that video, a bunch from are on your side too.
The ones on his video, the top liked ones were on my side, and then he was accusing them of being bots. Like that was the other thing. He says I buy subscribers. I'm like, you just don't know how to do shorts. Like, there's a difference between live and shorts. Like, short subscribers doesn't mean you'll have live views. Like, okay. Pearl, I just signed up to the network. This is my first message in the chat. Please update the ad. It shuts down right before you pay to sign. What? I'm screenshotting this complaint. I've been pushing the app, and apparently it's been crashing right before you pay to sign up. What am I doing this work for? Okay, well, I screenshotted that. That's going to the developer. Feel free to complain about the app, guys. It does help me make it better. It really does. So I give the complaints to the developers. Pearl, check out the back song Lost Cause fits this story. Pearl, I used to listen to your podcast while I was stuck working a horrible job after getting divorce raped. Over $600K in divorce attorneys. Thank you for talking about divorce rape. Thank you. Thank you. Hartman got the yearly membership yesterday. Last caller. ADHD can be a blessing, fueling hyperfocus and high performance. Use it as a horsepower for those goals. Just be smart enough to harness it effectively. There is always the fine line of not giving a fuck what someone thinks about you. I'm strictly for the working class values. The new Marxists are just useful idiots. I found out that Stalin made LGBTQ illegal in 1934, and I supported Stalin just to say F you to the liberals. Now the ignorant LGBT Marxists love Stalin. Oh boy. Black square profile back in Afghanistan during nightly missions with infantry forces. We had to paint our faces black or gray. Is that some sort of racism? Okay, let me read the messages at the end. I think that's it. All right, Glenn's here. Hello, Glenn. Is he not here anymore?
Let me see. Why is it not letting me see?
Oh, did he drop?
Oh yeah, he dropped out. So there.
Well, that's it.
So
thanks,
Z,
Todd, for joining. Also, go ahead.
Z, are you there? Z, unmute. You're waiting. Okay, so Divinity, are you there? Divinity. Okay, John, are you there? Unmute. John? Z?
I'm unmuted now. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, great. I actually didn't get the subject for this call.
Yeah, hi, sorry.
Oh,
yes, I'm here.
Okay, so hold on, John. Well, so Glenn said that he's there. Hold on real fast. Who do you want? Do you want Divinity, who's a woman, or do you want Glenn? Who do you want first?
Yeah, we can hear you. Okay, great. I actually didn't get the subject.
Yeah, hi, sorry.
Oh, someone has. Okay, so hold on, John.
There's gosh.
So Glenn said that he's there.
Please don't make me get up, guys.
Do you want Divinity?
Okay, I'm gonna have to get up to mute him. It's on the other computer. Someone. Oh, you guys are killing me.
Yeah, hi, sorry.
Okay. Okay.
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Okay, Glenn, we can hear you now.
Cool.
All right. Well, Pearl got up. Pearl, we can hear Glenn.
I'll wait for her to come back. I'll wait for her to come back.
Okay, sorry guys. I had to turn the volume down on my phone and the volume up on the laptop so I could not do the feedback. So sorry, Pearl, for annoying you. I didn't mean to.
Doug, have you? Are they muted? Do I need to kick someone or no?
No. Divinity had to turn.
Okay, hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna put back in my headphones.
So everything's fine. It was her and not yours.
Okay, yeah. Hold on.
So we have Divinity, who's a woman, and then Glenn's here too. So who do you want to hear from first?
Why don't we hear? Can we just? I'm sorry, Divinity. I'm gonna let Glenn go just because I told him to join this. Really, but he'll be quick. I know he has. I know what he's gonna say.
No problem.
Okay.
I'll mute.
Okay, thank you, Divinity. Barton says thanks for reading my comment. $50 super chat. Thank you. Okay, Glenn. Tell me what you got. What cause have you given up on?
I've given up on the cause for fighting for things for men when men don't want them to be fought for to begin with.
Okay, give me an example.
Oh, like marriage reform or any of that stuff. It's like
there he went again.
We can't hear you, Glenn.
Well,
technical difficulty.
Wait a minute.
Now you're back.
I'm back. All right, so I'm done fighting for things like marriage reform. Like, why? Because the guys that were trying to fight for it, they don't even want it. They complained about it. They said that there's nothing wrong with it. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with it, then I'm not going to fight for it. I'll let you go down the slaughterhouse just the way you want to.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of guys that are just dying to, they get married 3 times and they'll get divorce raped 3 times. They won't.
Yep.
And there's nothing you can do.
I think it's built within us men to have to learn the hard way a lot of times. Because we could say on red pill channels, don't get married, the average guy, but in my lifetime, there is going to be a scenario where less than 50% of men get married. It's just not going to happen. Men are still going to get married. Men are still going to have kids. Men are still going to end up in divorce court and paternity court.
Yeah, so my thing is like, if you want to do it, then do it. Then do it at your own risk. But don't be complaining about it afterwards. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I agree.
And other than that, says, I will holler at you later because, got some things I got to do. Got some fish to fry.
Okay, fry him, Glenn. Thanks for calling in, okay? Right. It's a pleasure as always.
Bye.
All right, Divinity's next.
Yep, Divinity's next.
Hello, Pearl.
Hello, how are you, Divinity?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. You're one of my 2 female watchers. This is amazing.
Yeah, I thought I'd finally come and chat because I've been watching you since 2022 or 2023. So I thought it's about time. I didn't know exactly what the topic was about because I literally just jumped in. And so could you refresh me on the question,
please? The topic is, so what's a lost cause that you end up giving up on? So, some people were vegan to try to save the animals, but then they start eating meat. What's a lost cause where some people were really religious and then they realized that they didn't want to be religious anymore. So was there some kind of cause where you just it's not worth fighting this fight? It's taking too much energy, and then what made you leave that cause?
Okay, I understand. Thank you, Doug, for kind of going over that a little bit more with me. It's a very interesting topic. I'm not too sure why this topic is chosen tonight, when usually most topics are about females. But now I'm the female talking on the show. So what do I want to throw away? Well, I think I want to throw away anger in general. To just be angry is to let demons inside of you. And I don't believe that anybody should really, I don't know, be angry. So, like, I know the vegans and stuff, they get all mad, to save the animals. But if you watch the animals, they eat each other, no problem, So, like, and plants have feelings and all that kind of stuff too. So, I think just being angry in general is what I'd like, I'm done with.
And then as a woman, did you have any general questions for Pearl at all?
Yeah, I do actually. Pearl, do you work for NATO by chance?
No. Why?
No?
Why?
Oh, it was just a question. Just curious.
What is NATO? Is that the NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization? Nope, nothing.
Okay, thanks for answering my question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Who's next?
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Call in again anytime.
Thank you, Doug.
You're welcome. So Darnell has dropped on and off a couple of times, so I'm gonna get him because he's been waiting for a while. He just came back. So Darnell, unmute.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, you've been waiting for a while. You dropped off and dropped back on. So go ahead.
Oh, I wasn't aware I dropped off.
How's it?
I've been
off for a little bit.
How's it going, Darnell?
Another day in paradise, ma'am. How about yourself, Miss Pearl?
Pretty good. Where's paradise?
Well, Arizona.
Oh, that's pretty. It's pretty warm now there, right?
Well, we got a little cold front today, but for the most part, yeah, it's been pretty warm and no natural disasters.
That's nice.
Well, it's about as close as it gets, right?
Yeah. What's your thought on the topic? Is there any cause that you gave up on?
Yes, ma'am. First off, let me say thank you for taking my call. Much appreciated. And cause I've given up on, ma'am, I'd have to say is just the red pill.
Okay.
I believe the red pill at this point has become a lost cause. And there's just no point in trying to fix it, trying to repair it. I don't think the content creators. I think there's an issue with accountability with a lot of the content creators with the red pill. I mean, it's one thing to force women and what they call haters and all that, say, oh yeah, they're not taking accountability. But then when these guys are just all doing the dumbest things, getting themselves demonetized and things of that nature, it's like, okay.
Hey, it happens to the best of us.
I mean,
hey.
I understand, ma'am, but I mean, just hear me out on this, though.
You're
like,
okay.
Just recently, they did a whole Avengers episode, Fresh and Fit, Donovan Sharp, Rolo Tomasi, list goes on. But now it's like, it's gotten to the point, and the reason I say that they sound ridiculous, now they're blaming the dead man for why the red pill's dying.
Oh, did they blame Kevin?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's dead. Yeah. May he rest in peace. I'm not saying that as a slight against him. But how do you go about blaming the dead man for the reason the red pill dying? I mean, Kevin, did he, in his grave, did he make Fresh,
the hooker thing. Yeah, that was pretty dumb.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that was pretty dumb.
Yeah, I was trying to find clean language.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that, it's like, okay, you teach us you know, like you teach us, okay, guys, you gotta, you know, don't, stop simping, you know, for 304s, low value women, et cetera, et cetera. And here you are simping, and it wasn't even just Miss Ling Ling, you know. It was also, I mean, if you remember, I mean, I was a Fresh and Fit fan since 2020. You know, the Miranda scandal. I mean, that was another one. Oh, I vetted her, bro, and you know, all this other stuff. And don't get me wrong, you know, I like Fresh and Fit. I owe them a lot. I mean, honestly, you know, in the beginning, I really thought that they were good, you know, for men. I thought that they were good, you know, because a lot of men, you know, in my opinion, it's like being left behind. You know, a lot of men feel like they're being left behind. And I felt like I was one of those men, you know, kind of like anybody from the Midwest, you know, may understand what I'm talking about. You know, that was, you know, the Midwest, they call it the Rust Belt state, you know, and the Rust Belt states. And, you know, during 2016 election, right, you know, you had all these people that were left behind. You know, every time the American economy is doing good, unemployment in the Midwest was not so good, you know, because all the jobs are gone. And everyone say, oh, well, you know, everything's fine. No, you know, just adapt and just change. It's like, how do I adapt? You know, what do I do? You know, and I feel the same way, you know, about, you know, the men in dating, you know, oh, you know, well, you just got to step your game up and you just got to do this, you got to do that. And, you know, it's like, man, what, you know, I mean, how can you compete with social media? You know, I mean, a woman from Cornfield, Nebraska can go meet somebody in Dubai, you know? So what do? You know, you got all these guys left behind.
So when you say you've given up on the red pill like, what does that mean in your actual life? Where, like, it's not like you were debating these women, you know. Are you done dating, or like, what does that mean day to day for you?
I mean, for me, I'm done.
Like watching, maybe, or.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I still watch a little bit of content. But,
sorry.
But,
okay,
nah, it's all right. It's all right. But,
no worries. It's all right.
But I just gonna say that, you know, like I said, I've been kind of saying the same thing now for like 2 years. It's like, okay, when are they? I just wanted them to take just a little bit of accountability, you know, and it's like nobody in the red pill wants to do it, and then finally, when you're blaming Kevin Samuels, for God's sakes, on why the red pill's dying, to me that's just ludicrous, you know. And it's not just that, but you know, I mean, I used to be a Andrew Tate fan, you know, and you know, but when you look into it, I mean, the man is scamming his own damn people.
I'm gonna stop you real quick. So one of the OGs of the Black Manosphere, I'm not gonna say his name on Bro's channel, but he literally said, everyone says, oh yeah, the red pill's gonna die, the manosphere is gonna die. It happens about every 2-3 years. People, oh yeah, it's gonna die. And like, I've talked to Pearl about this. Pearl's always gonna have a job because modern women are gonna keep being modern women, man.
Thank you, ladies, for keeping me employed.
Exactly. So about every 2 or 3 years, you say, oh yeah, the manosphere is gonna die and the red pill. No, man, but modern women, they're like Hydra from freaking Marvel movies. If you cut off one head with modern women, 2 appear in its place. You know,
I agree.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So you know, this is kind of a lull right now. You know, I can kind of say that because we're moving from one generation to the next. I mean, you know, I think that Fresh and Fit and Kevin Samuels and stuff is kind of they're kind of moving. That whole exposure phase is in the past. So now we're moving to a different phase. But when that phase settles in, it's going to be popping again.
I mean, I agree with you, sir, that the red pills, you know, it's not going to die. In fact, I was on a debate, you know, a couple of weeks ago about that. You know, topic was is the manosphere or the red pill, is it dead? And I said no. It's going to lie dormant. Maybe it's not going to be as popular for a while, but it's going to come roaring. It's going to come roaring right back. Of course, you know, I agree with you that, you know, women are not going to change. I mean, Hell, I mean, I was in the military myself, and in the days before social media, or before I even knew what red pill was, I mean, women were the same 20 years ago. You know what I mean? you know.
We're gonna move on to the next caller. Thank you for waiting so long. I appreciate it, and you can call in anytime. Okay.
All right. Thank you for. May I say just one more thing though, really quick before you let me go?
Sure.
Go ahead.
I just want to say, or I just wanted to ask a question real quick. I mean, how do you guys feel though about the red pill? Do you guys feel I have a point about that there is a lack of accountability and that maybe the red pill is creating its own drama?
I didn't see the Avengers episode, so I didn't really see that. I think
that's just one.
Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes the guys like eat themselves. Where like, I mean, even I was talking about Rolo at the beginning, where it's just like unnecessary drama. But I mean, when I think of the OG, like before YouTube and everything, the red pill was men trying to solve their problems in the forums. So, stuff like that, men are always going to be looking for answers. You're always going to have bad actors. It just is what it is. You get that in every space.
Absolutely.
You just can't avoid it. You can't. Especially YouTube. YouTube's like a cesspool for crazy people, I've learned.
And then, I would add, so I think the lack of accountability from the current generation is, these are the first guys that actually made real money off of red pill content. And so when you start making real money, you don't know how someone's going to react with real money until they have it.
Yeah.
That's why I like Batman's my favorite superhero, because he's a billionaire and he can choose to do evil, but he puts on a cape and cowl and tries to do good. It's harder to do good with money and resources than bad. It's easier to do bad things than good things. And once again, this is the first crop of red pill content creators that actually made real money, and some people did good things with it, and some people did bad things with it.
Yeah. No, I agree with that's a good point. Vanity is the devil's favorite sin.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, thanks for calling in. It's a pleasure. Call in anytime, okay?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for having me. Y'all have a good one now.
Okay.
Doug, how many more people are on the Zoom?
There's like a full call line, so whenever you want to stop, we can stop. But there's a bunch of people here.
Okay. Why don't we do like, guys, try to keep your responses to like 5 minutes or less each. Can you try to like move them like 5 minutes each? What's a full panel? Is 8, 10, 5?
So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's like 6 people waiting.
Okay, we can do the 6, but just none after that because they've been waiting. So we'll do the 6, and then
okay.
So guys, we're just gonna do the people that are still on the Zoom, and just try to keep it concise, everyone. And I want to also say thank you to $10 super chat. I serve the King of Souls. All he cares about is fairness. And Souls, you have my support. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Hartman. Okay. Go to the next person.
John, you've been waiting. Unmute.
Hi. Yeah. Am I coming in? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks for calling in, John.
Thanks for having me, Pearl. Yeah. So the question was, what have I given up with movement or cause, rather?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the cause that I've given up is feminism and romanticism.
Okay. And what did that look like before? Like what? Can you tell me the story behind it, maybe?
I think the shortest way and the easiest way for it to make sense. I have 4 sisters. I grew up as a mama's boy, and for like the last 13 years of my life, I've been studying feminism and doing field research. And I followed it to its logical conclusion, and it ended me up at the red pill. So women literally taught me to hate them. And
whoa, that's really interesting. So did you go?
I'm probably the world's expert on women, and
he's not the first person I've ever heard say that, though.
Wait, so you went to school for it?
Yeah. I studied media studies and women's studies and gender studies specifically.
No, and when did you change your opinion? Was there like what argument switched it? Also, is someone unmuted or is that the caller, Doug? Or does someone need to mute? Oh, okay. No, it went away.
Please mute if you can. And okay, now we're good.
Okay.
So it switched it actually. What switched it was the red pill movement. Actually, I just wasn't aware that the red pill movement existed. So once I had acclimated that information to the information I already had, I had both sides of the whole thing. I had the male side and the feminist side. So it just all clicked.
Yeah. Got it. Makes sense. That's really interesting. Please call back again, okay?
Yeah, sure. No problem. Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Okay.
Who do we got next?
Matt, you are next.
What cause have you given up on?
Matt, unmute.
I already went.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, why are you still on the call?
Actually,
I thought it was
the reason why I'm on the call is because it actually sounds better than the YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Oh, does it really?
Okay.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it does. It sounds really high quality.
Okay.
So, sorry about that. Seb, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
So, what's a cause that you held dear earlier in life that you ended up giving up on for your own sake?
Oh man, so first of all, what's up, guys? Man, John kind of stole my thunder there. So the cause I gave up on, like he was talking about, the being the romantic whatever. I termed it as I gave up on the nice guy, being the nice guy. So I'll tell just a quick story because I know you guys want to get out of here. So I was I would think I was 24, and I was in Romania where Tate. It's fun, what a coincidence, right? I'm Romanian, and so I met this girl out there. We were going to visit family, and there was this one girl that I met, and she lived in like a really small town, like in the mountains. There was maybe like 2,000 people living there, like on a farm. They like barely had plumbing. They had like electricity, and they cooked on like a fire stovetop. Like they had to burn wood to cook their food and everything. So I was 24, she was 21. I met this girl and I was like, oh, this is cool. A nice farm girl. She doesn't really know much. She's not like feminized and all, like with feminism and all this crap. So anyway, I went there, spent time with her for like a week, and then we kept in touch, and I went back to go see her again that winter, the same year, because I was there in the summertime. That same year for Christmas, I went to go see her. And I was being nice, they're poor over there mainly, so I bought her a bunch of gifts and gave her like, some nice clothing and stuff like that. And anyway, I went to go see her again a couple times. Like she was, from my understanding, she's never been with a guy at the time, and neither have I. So I was like, oh, this is perfect, and then, so I went to go visit her for a month the second time. I came back, and then all of a sudden, like we would do like video calls on Messenger, on Yahoo Messenger back in the day, and I would call her all the time. And then like it was funny because I didn't realize that she wasn't serious. I in my head, because you know how people make up ideas in their head about women and stuff. Because I didn't know crap about it. And then so I went back and saw her every year. I went to go because I was trying to save up money so we can get married and all that stuff. And then like towards the very end of the relationship, I found out. I was like, wait a second. Like I started putting pieces to the puzzle together. And I was like, wait a second. And I would look at old text messages and like what she would say, and I would be like, wait, why did she say that? Why did she say this? And like sometimes she wouldn't answer the call, and like sometimes she would hang up on me, and I'd call her back and she wouldn't answer. And I was like, oh, maybe she's just busy or something. And I was like so naive.
But like, what else would she be doing if she's literally living in a barn and cooking on an iron wood stove?
Doing the boom boom with someone else.
Oh man,
they'll find someone else even in the middle of nowhere.
304. I got
no-
a 304 living in a barn. Oh no.
But she used to go to like a bigger town. Like she always used to take a bus because she lived in an apartment because that's where she went to school. She was in college, but she graduated. So I found out that she lied to me about that. She had already graduated, but she said she still went back for like her next degree and stuff. And then I found out later that she wasn't even taking classes anymore. She was just trying to get out of town.
Mm-hmm.
And so she would go stay at an apartment by herself. And she was, I found out she was like talking with other guys. And when I went to go visit her, like she was just acting sketchy and she would like not answer her phone. I'd like be at the apartment and she said she's going to school and she wasn't even going to school. I was like, where's your books and crap? She's like, well, I don't have books. I'm just going to lectures.
Mm.
And I was like, what the hell? How does that work? So then anyway, I found out that she was screwing around the whole time. I was the first guy to ever do anything with her, but I was a good Christian boy and I didn't finish the deed because she hasn't been with anybody and I haven't. So I was like, I'm going to save myself with her.
Wait. I don't mean to interrupt. Wait. So you guys were long distance.
Yeah.
And you both were saving yourselves for marriage and she smashed some other dude?
Yeah. When the first time I met her.
Oh.
Exactly. Because I was so naive, man.
How many years was it?
It was a total of, let's see, I met her in the summer of 2011.
And then when did you guys break up?
The last time I talked to her was 2016.
So like 5 years, bro?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I kept going back to.
And you never hit?
No, I did eventually.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, at least,
Oh no. Okay, man. Woo, Lord.
So just one more minute. This is the end of the story. So check this out.
Mm-hmm.
So finally, I stopped talking to her. I cut off all connection with her. She was there. I was here, and we blocked each other on all the shit. I'm like, forget about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then 3 months goes by, and I get a message on Facebook from her.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what the hell? I was sleeping and I wake up, my phone, I could see a message. And she's like, hey. And I just looked at it. I'm like, screw it. I didn't even answer her. And then I didn't answer her. So like an hour or two goes by and she writes me again. And she's like, oh, you're the love of my life and all this crap,
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, whatever. I talked to her for a couple of days to lead her on. Then I told her to screw off, right? And then like I found out later from family members out there that after that time, like 3 months later, she was engaged to some simp out there for another Romanian guy. And she moved to Norway after she got gangbanged by a whole bunch of dudes. I don't know. So anyway, that's my story.
She went from milking cows to getting gangbanged by a bunch of dudes.
Sounds about right.
Gangbang, but she was definitely screwing around.
Wow.
God.
Well,
Yeah, so
God bless.
Thanks for sharing, Sam.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, thanks.
Z, are you there? Unmute. Z, are you there? Okay, he's just sitting in the chat. And then, okay. We'll do Gabe, are you there?
Hello, yes, I'm here.
Okay, you got 4 minutes. Go for it. Do you know the topic of the show tonight?
What cause we've given up on?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, 2. One is saving California in general, because I've born and raised in California my whole life. It's been a lost cause for at least 20 years now. And it's not going to get any better.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lost cause when I was growing up in the Bay Area in the 90s. And I saw it firsthand, like how crazy and dangerous it was, and whatnot. The other one, which I'm actually happy about, is giving up on dating apps. About 2 years ago, I spent like 14 years of my life on dating apps and was honestly never happy, like, with them at all. So I'm joking when I say this. I'd rather be miserable dealing with people in real life than dealing with people that, like, you don't know, like, on a dating app, like, regardless of whether they're real or not, like, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it
right.
makes sense to me.
That makes perfect sense.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead. Real quick, because I'm from the West Coast, and I would say Washington, Oregon, California. If you could just move. Have you ever thought about moving anywhere else besides California?
I won't name names, but there was an OG red pill influencer who was suggesting go to the Midwest. I'm part Lakota Sioux, so I mean, part of my tribe is in the upper Midwest, so I don't know. I've thought about maybe somewhere around there, but I would need to have more time to think about all of that.
Well, let me tell you, just move. Just move. Just go for it, man. I'm telling you. Just go for it. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, have a good one. And then last is Clint Warwick. Unmute.
Clint.
Hey, what's up? I'm unmute. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, Pearl. I haven't seen you in like a couple years. You look really good, by the way.
Thanks.
I used to see you on I used to see you on Fresh and Fit, and I guess, and like Andrew Tate and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've been a little more low key now. I can't argue with these ladies anymore. It's a lost cause, as I said.
So are you actually still in England right now?
No, I'm back. I'm back in the States.
Where at? I mean, if you don't want me asking.
I'm in the Chicago area. Where are you at?
I'm actually like 30 minutes from DC in Maryland.
Oh, nice. Are there any lost causes there or what?
Yeah, I mean, I guess there is. I mean, I could tell you about like for instance, I have full custody of my daughter. She's 12 now. I've had full custody of her since she was like a year old.
Mm-hmm.
And her mom's been to prison, for like 4 years. I mean, she's out now and stuff like that. But really, what I want to actually tell you about, if it's okay, if it's not, no, it's whatever. I want to tell you about my testimony, how I met Jesus, if that's okay with you.
Hey, you got like 3 minutes though.
Okay, cool. All right. So, anyways, I had this dream or near-death experience. I'm not sure what it was. I went to this mansion in a desert. Okay, and before this, I've gotten sleep paralysis and I've been tortured by a bunch of demons, literally, and out-of-body experiences with demons literally around me. So, going to this mansion now in a desert, I get to this mansion, and I knew nothing about the Bible at this point. And I go into the mansion, and I go to the second floor, see one of my best friends there, and he gives me a drink. I drink the drink, and I start hallucinating. And I fly up to like the top floor of the mansion, like top roof, I guess you could say. And all the roofs come off, and I could see every single room. And one of the rooms had about 500 demons to 1,000 of them or something like that, trying to get out the room, literally. And it was crazy. And so anyways, Jesus literally came down to me. He had a breastplate on, and I never knew this in Ephesians 6 or 7 where it calls a breastplate of righteousness. I never knew about that. And he actually told me to kneel down. I kneeled down, and we weren't speaking mouth to mouth. It's all true. You speak mind to mind with him. And I kneeled down like a knight almost. He gave me about, I don't know, I think it was like a 7-foot sword or something like that in my hands. And then I stood up and we talked a little bit. and he asked me if I was ready, and I was jumping around like joyful, like crazy, and his face was so bright. It was amazing. And so he gave me that sword, and he said, "Are you ready?" And I said, "Yes, I'm ready." And he put his left hand on my shoulder, and he opened this like this circle, like Doctor Strange, like this circle of a portal. And this was when I was like 25. I'm 33 now, and he touched my hand on my shoulder, and I went through this portal, and this portal had all these light orbs in it. It was wild. And I went straight through this portal, and all at the same time now, bear with me, I slipped back into my body, of course, but at the same time, I had sleep paralysis, but in a split second, it punched through it like a lightning bolt. It punched through it, and I went straight through the sleep paralysis, and I literally I literally levitated, because I know this because of how I landed. I levitated like 6 to 8 inches off my bed, and I landed sitting on my pillow, okay, covered in sweat. Now the second miracle to this thing is that I didn't know, because I called my mother the next day and I told her about this, and she told me that night that she prayed for me in her church group that I wouldn't have sleep paralysis again, because I've had it about 1,000 times already. Anyways, even after that, and I've seen demons and everything. But anyways, that's what I wanted to tell you. So anybody that doesn't believe or anything like that, he's real. And I, since read the Bible, and not even that, I've learned a lot in the last years, literally listening to a lot of people and teachers and stuff like that. And I know there's mansions in heaven now, of course, and I know that there's the Ephesians 6, if you read that, it talks about the armor of God, the breastplate of righteousness, the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word. I never knew that, and that happened to me. So just so you know, for all your listeners, it's real. Just so you know.
I won't lie. I won't lie. You sound kind of crazy.
What's that?
I said I won't lie. You sound kind of crazy. I hope you're not, but it sounds pretty crazy.
No. Yeah, no, that's fine. No. I mean, I actually have like I don't know what it is, but I've had sleep paralysis for like my whole life and stuff like that. And like the last 10 years, I literally have like out of body experiences, literally with demons, literally like with standing on stairs, like where I'm looking at right now with. I mean, you wouldn't believe like all the stuff I've been through. Like, I mean, that's
it's like 1 o'clock here, so
yeah, of course.
We're gonna wrap up the call, but thank you for calling in. We really appreciate it.
Yeah,
of course.
Thanks for calling in. Have a good one.
You too, hon. God bless. Thank you.
Okay, so those are all the callers for the day there.
Okay, sorry, I'm getting sleepy. Okay, guys, that's everyone, right?
Yep.
Okay. Sorry, guys, this is later than usual because I had to go see my sister play basketball. I wanted to. I didn't have to. I wanted to because who knows, they might win state. So this week's kind of sporadic because depending on my sister's schedule, it just might be all over. I've been testing different show times, and I think 7 to 9 is the time I'm going to stick with going forward. This week, again, it might be different due to my sister's game, but my producer is officially back Friday, and that is the time I gave him because when I have an employee coming in, I have to be a little more consistent. Thank you. We had another sign up while he was here. Dove's Eye View, thank you very much. By the way, guys, sign up because this is going to be expensive in a month. After Friday. I'm gonna put the real price, but I'm letting everyone in that signs up for the app. Okay, I saw my mom in a beautiful dream. So real. I moved from California to Chirac, and I effing love it. I'm actually a fan of Royal Korean Blood Castle. But my Korean family disowned me due to marrying an Indian girl. Forget your tribe. I'm half Korean. Okay. I don't see. Guys, try to keep Pearl read when you have something you want me to say in the chat. I serve the King of Souls. All he cares about is fairness and souls. You have my support. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much. And yeah, oh, I said I would answer someone's question at the end. What was it? There's one thing in the chat that I said I would answer, and I can't remember what it was. It was something with Rolo. Did you see it in the normal chat?
No, I don't.
And yeah, I get it.
I completely forgot.
I saw it just like for a second, and I said I would come back to it.
That last caller just threw me completely off.
Look, all right. I'll find the chat and I'll answer it first show tomorrow. I forget what it was. Yeah, but thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for listening to me clear my name about Rolo. I mean, I really don't wish to go back and forth with him. But if he's going to straight up make things up, I do have a right to defend myself. And I will, because I made this show. So thanks, Doug, for being a pleasure also, as always. Do you have any final words for the people?
Yeah, for all the new faces in the chat on the Audacity website, thank you for being here. The YouTube chat, thank you guys for being so awesome. You know, I try to say hi to all the regulars. And my final thoughts on this whole thing is, guys, you gotta every so often take a T-chart, make a T-chart on a piece of paper and put your problem on one side and not your problem on the other side, and go through all the issues in your life and make sure you have what's your problem on one side and what's not your problem on the other side, and only focus on the stuff that's your problem. Okay.
Oh, that's a good. You have a lot of very good nuggets, Doug.
Yeah, I try.
Oh, what's the Torsha Rolo story? No, me and Torsha fell out behind the scenes years ago. This was years ago. And I like Torsha. I got nothing against her. But years ago, we had a falling out. It had nothing to do with Devin. I honestly can't even remember what it was. And then it was like, I don't remember. And then we made up, and then we got over it, and that was it. Oh, Doug, do you want to promo your channel? Someone put in the chat. They want to know your channel.
Oh, yeah. So I'm Doug MPA. I've literally supported Pearl since she had
the beginning.
I think 28,000 subs. I remember telling her before she got big that she was going to get big one day. Remember that conversation?
I do remember.
So I'm going to put my channel in the chat. If you can give me a sub, I'd really appreciate it. I cover red pill topics. I do a lot of work for Pearl behind the scenes, so I haven't been putting up as many videos. But and then I just moved. So obviously I'll be making videos again as soon as I get my workflow. But if you want to give me a follow, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm going to put it in the chat right now.
Yeah, you guys, he has great shows. I call in on them sometimes. Now we talk so much, but like he's very good. Yeah, Torsha came to my house. I mean, Rolo he wanted her to be famous. I can't make miracles, you know. Okay. Pearl's am I famous, not famous? I don't really care either way. Okay. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Like the video on your way out and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you guys next time. I'm going to play a song on my way out. I do like to put out the mixtape. Oh, where is it? Actually, I'm not. I'm just going to go shut off the stream. Okay, bye, guys.